Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the May 1993 seventh book in the Goosebumps series, R.L. Stine's Goosebumps, Night of the Living Dummy. So, we all know and love Slappy the Dummy, right? He's a main antagonist through majority of the Goosebumps franchise, right? He's on a lot of the merchandise. We have him on our Goosebumps bedspread, right? He's a well-known character. He's not actually the main antagonist of this book. He's on the cover, and the plot summary references him, but he's not the main antagonist of this book. I forgot all about that. So, Lindy and Chris Powell, they are twin siblings. Two girls who are 12 years old. Let me just go to the front page. Normally it says Powell. Yes, Powell. Okay. So, they live in this community, and so they are, I think it's like springtime. So it's around like the spring talent show that they're starting to prep for stuff. So the two of them find this dummy who Lindy named Slappy in a dumpster at this house next door, who's getting like, construction done and stuff like that, and they have a dumpster there and things, right? So Slappy is just randomly in there, and they're like, oh, this is weird, right? Why is there a dummy in there? But Lindy decides to take him, start to practice ventriloquism with him, and then Chris is jealous because her sister has it, so she wants one. So then their father buys Chris a dummy from a pawn shop, who then Chris names Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood is wearing a plaid shirt, he's got jeans, he's got sneakers. Slappy has his infamous gray suit with the white collar, painted white shirt on his wooden body, gray slacks, and brown shoes, right? So Mr. Wood comes to life because Chris finds a yellow piece of paper with some ancient words written on them, and she says them, and then he comes to life and he starts to cause chaos. So he's ruining her ventriloquism acts, where Lindy is still practicing with Slappy. Mr. Wood is fighting with Slappy, as the girls are asleep or their eyes are closed or turned around or something like that, right? So it's a matter of, why is he doing this? How is he coming to life? And he's explained, you read the ancient words from the sorcerer that brings me to life. And Chris thinks that if she says the words again, it'll take the life away. But those are not the words to kill him, as he says. So it's just a matter of, the dummy now is alive. And so he is now declared that Lindy and Chris are his slaves, and they have to do whatever he says. Otherwise, he's going to hurt the people around him. He's going to hurt their parents. He's going to hurt their friends. He's going to hurt the families. He's going to hurt the dog, right? And so, how do you destroy this dummy if your parents don't believe you? How do you destroy the dummy if it's causing chaos and just spewing green, disgusting liquid at the talent show that smells like rotted eggs and burning plastic and all these different things, burning rubber, all these different things. So there's this massive battle at the end where they wake up one morning that they don't have school, and it's raining, it's thunder and lightning, and it turns out that there's steamrollers working in the rain, which is not an actual thing that happens, but for the sake of the story, we'll just continue on. That was the only plot flaw I had in this entire book, 134 pages worth. So then, fighting to bury the dummy comes out of the ground covered in dirt, causing mischief and chaos. And Lindy is actually the one who's sparking the "is Mr. Wood alive" bit, pranking her sister for the longest time, but it turns out he actually is alive. So then, figuring out he is alive, the two sisters are trying to kill him. They can't cut his head off with a scissor, obviously. They can't keep him buried in a suitcase because he'll climb back out. The only other way to kill him in their means of 12-year-oldness that they have available is to use the steamroller that's being used next door by this construction worker. So they're chasing him, and then the steamroller eventually smushes him, and then the green mushroom cloud of poison comes up, and the steamroller guy thinks he killed a kid, and he says, "Oh, man, I thought I killed a kid." But, again, why is it not roped off? Why is it, why is the area not sealed away that, to prevent these things from happening? But again, this was the 90s. They didn't have rules back then. Why is a steamroller running in the pouring thunder and lightning rain? Water softens the ground, and a steamroller is supposed to flatten the ground, so it's not going to help. Whatever. Aside from that, the dummy is killed. Mr. Wood is killed. He disintegrates, and they tell the construction worker they could just throw the rest of him in the dumpster. It's fine. They go back inside to change, and then Slappy looks at them and says, "Ah, good, that other one's gone. So let's get to work, slaves," or something like that. So it's just a matter of by saying the ancient words in the house cause both dummies to come alive, or was it just that Slappy was alive the entire time? Things like that, right? We know in future Goosebumps iterations that Slappy does say these specific words to bring other creatures to life. So it's just a matter of probably within the vicinity, because she said the words in the vicinity, the two dummies that were looked to be made from the same manufacturer were brought to life. So then Slappy, we know, moving forward, is another antagonist, in other things, but Night of the Living Dummy, with Slappy on the cover and Slappy on the back in the blurb, is not the actual antagonist. Mr. Wood is the actual antagonist. Forgot all about that. It was a nice surprise. Very quick paced. Very, very interesting of you're a kid and you're singing things and you're trying to tell your, older respected adults, but nobody believes you. What do you do next? Well, you have to handle it in your own way. And how do you handle it in your own way? Well, you get a steamroller and you make sure that you run through an open construction site in the thunder and lightning pouring rain as the giant heavy machinery is steamrolling the wet ground, obviously. So, tiny plot flaw, but we'll forgive it because Slappy is one of the most important characters within the whole Goosebumps canon, and he's got many a sequels after that, and we're good. So we just finished the 7th book, on to the 8th, on to the next review. Mucho mahalo.